Areas like the forehead, top of the cheeks, and chin should stay lighter until the very end of the painting. My base color for skin tone is orange, burnt sienna from Windsor, and I add blue, mainly ultramarine, and for extra depth I mix in a very small amount of lamp black. Sometimes I add a little bit of cadmium red or any red to my orange. I start working from the outer areas of the face, beginning with the parts that naturally appears darker and then faded in to the lighter parts. For the nose, I place the color on the side of the nose and on the tip. Then, using a drier brush with less water and pigment, I start to soften and blend the color. Along the nose, I add a bit of shadow and extend it slightly back toward the eyelid. I add a small amount of color around the nostrils, not too much, keeping everything controlled. And for the eye, the area under the eye, I place the color, then blend it out. These steps are done very slowly and patiently at each stage. I let the paper dry slightly so it can accept more water and paint without losing control. I'm trying to add more details with darker tone but the same colors. And for the base layer for the eye, I am using the leftover mix on my palette, the grayish bluish tone, with a tiny amount of lamp black. I use the same skin tone mix, orange combined with red, as the base color for the lips. I want the cheeks and the nose to look a little bit redder, so I use the same technique. I place a limited amount of color, the cadmium red and water, on the cheeks and try to blend that with a cleaner, slightly drier brush, or if I'm using the same brush, I'm trying to make it drier and make it clean first to have more control on that. And then for the lips, I try to put the color first and then trying to create the texture of the lips. Unfortunately, my phone stopped recording at this point and I didn't notice that, so I lost the eye section. But I will definitely make a separate tutorial for eyes. And now we're gonna talk about how to draw hair, natural hair. When I want to work on hair, I first look at my palette and I can see that I already have a range of colors there. An orange mixed with blue and some brown left over from earlier. I slightly adjust these mixes, creating lighter and darker variation that I can use for hair to show the light and shadow. For the first layer, I use more water and less pigment, filling in the hair area and trying to use the color mixes I already have on a palette. I place brown and darker brown as the base and start suggesting some hair flow and texture. When I'm working on hair, I first look at my palette. I can see that I already have a range of colors there. An orange mixed with blue and some brown left over from earlier. I slightly adjust these mixes, creating lighter and darker variations because I can use them as a base for the hair's light and shadow. For the first layer, I use more water and less pigment, filling in the hair area and trying to use the color mixes I already have on my palette. Showing the shadow under the hair and trying to show the hair flow and the texture. To show the hair strands more defined, we're using very thin strokes from top to bottom, and as I move downward, I gently lift the brush. This helps create that sense of looseness and natural flow in the hair. I'm just repeating the process now. More pigment and less color with a dry brush so I can define the individual strands more clearly with very thin strokes from top to bottom. Thank you for joining me in this episode. I will be sharing a separate eye tutorial very soon. If you liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. See you next time.